Que esto sea una
shouldn't break, but we don't know that for years. The padding is fairly thin, but it does the job admirably by creating a good seal around your head. However, there may be some of you with larger ears or oddly shaped ears that have an issue with the ANC microphones rubbing up against your pinna. If that's the case, again, just reseat. You should be fine unless you have a really close tragus and antitragus. That's it. The wider band accommodates more head sizes than before, and the extra padding on the top means these will be more comfortable for longer listening sessions. Given that the mouse of over 200 grams is reasonable, but not, neck-breaking. The Sennheiser Momentum Wireless 4, on the other hand, is quite a bit different. They do not fold. Instead, they have two swiveling yokes that can be laid flat in a carrying case. The ear cups of the Sennheiser Momentum 4 Wireless are quite a bit deeper than those of the Sony WH-1000 XM6. However, the gap in between the pads is a fair bit smaller, so if you have larger ears, that's something to consider. The band itself is covered in a fabric and also has a little bit more give on the top. You can pull these out, and don't worry, these are my personal pair. Without breaking, just like the Sony WH-1000 XM6. However, I wouldn't go testing that too much. Interestingly enough, both of these headphones have extremely similar controls. On the back of each right ear cup of the Sony WH-1000 XM6 and the Sennheiser Momentum 4 Wireless, you can find a capacitive touch plate that allows you to use gestures to control your headphones. And both of these control schemes are very, very similar. One tap to play pause on the Sennheisers, two taps to play pause on the Sonys. Push forward to track forward, push up, volume up. You get the idea. The main difference, however, is that you can cup your hand over the right ear cup in order to trigger the pass-through mode. For the Sennheiser, you just tap twice. Conclusion? This one's a push. It depends on your personal taste. Personally, I don't see a huge difference between the two headphones. However, the big thing that people are going to get frustrated about is the pads. Now, while there's no proof that the thinner padding on the Sony WH-1000 XM6 is going to be an issue in the long term, it's possible because of the chassis sticking out a little bit further. When you put these headphones on and you tighten them on your head, it doesn't leave a lot of gap, especially for those of you wearing glasses. I measured this from a brand new pair by about 8 millimeters in between the plastic chassis and my head, but that's going to vary depending on pressure for you. It's also going to vary if the viscoelastic foam on the inside of the pads relaxes a little bit, and that might be the source of some issues. Then if you were to look at the Sennheiser Momentum 4 Wireless, well, look at the difference. Yeah, a lot more padding visible, eh? As far as connectivity goes, I hate to spoil this one, but the win definitely goes to Sony. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it doesn't, but I'll get to that in a second. For wireless, Sony wins hands down. Not only does it give you LE audio and LC3, but it also comes with LDAC in 330, 660, and 990 kilobits per second transfer rates. The Sennheiser Momentum 4 Wireless, on the other hand, does, well, it doesn't. And there's a Qualcomm chip in there, so the best it can do is aptX adaptive in high quality or low latency modes, which are good on their own, but they are not as high transfer rate as LDAC.